All right, YouTube is live. Yes, YouTube is live. Hello, YouTube. Hello, Instagram. Hello, everybody. Hope you are doing well. I'm having a good day so far. Today's a very different day than most other days this week. So most other days this week. We have number 2. What does 2 mean? Oh, gok. I said gok. Gokche. Is that right? Is that right, Instagram or Instagram follower? So anyway, today's an interesting day. A very different day than what I've had so far. And how are we doing on the Instagram? Hello, no, YouTube. Here we go. 2 viewers on YouTube. Hello, 2 viewers. Hello, 2 viewers. Let's move to the kitchen. I gotta make some lunch. Pretty hungry. I'm actually starving. I've not eaten in hours. Today's a very different day than what we've had. Oopsies, Instagram fell down. There we go. Very different day than, there we go. Very different day than what's happened for most days this week. Most days this week have been very heavy teaching. Today is very heavy marketing and finding new students, etc. Basically what that means is instead of actually having lots of students, instead of actually teaching 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 people in a day, I'm spending my time there we go, cold calling, putting up different ads, different activities like that to find new students. That's really what today's looking like. For anyone, if anyone watched the live stream yesterday, hello Nestor, hola. It's good to actually put a face to your username the other day, Nestor. We got to chat on Skype. That was cool. If anyone watched the live stream yesterday, I want to apologize. I want to apologize a little bit. I was in a bit of a funk. I was in a bit of a bad mood, and so it was a really crappy and grumpy and boring, crappy, grumpy, and boring live stream. It was not great to watch. So my apologies, my apologies, my apologies. I wonder if we should start a Facebook stream. See ya, Alan. Have fun at school. Have fun at school. Nah, won't start a Facebook stream today. We'll just keep it YouTube and Instagram. So we'll keep it there. How is everybody else doing? How is everyone doing? Is this correct? Nestor wants you to correct something in English. Nestor wants you to correct. The dogs are fine. They're in the shade. They're in the shade given by the tree. Yeah, it's fine. I would say the dogs are fine. I would say the dogs are fine. They're in the shade by the tree. I would just say that. So that's what I would say. But your sentence is not awful, not overly incorrect, not overly bad. So today we're gonna do something different, a little bit different than usual. So normally we just, a couple things will be the same and a couple things will be different. So what will be the same? I'll talk about my day. I'll give you guys a challenge update. And then what's going to be different is I'm just going to pull up on Google. A bunch of different deep questions, and we're going to talk about them. So let's start with the daily update. There we go. 30-day challenge update. I've not done my studying yet today. So currently we're in the same place as yesterday. Same place as yesterday. But I'm looking everyone in the camera right now, and actually I should put this in my calendar, but I'm looking everyone in the face right now, directly in the face. I'm promising everyone that I'm going to be doing some studying later today. So I'm gonna go put it on my calendar. It doesn't actually not, oh, it is in my calendar. There it is, it is there. Perfect, so I will be doing it, that's good. So today, what have I gotten up to? I taught 4 people in the morning. I've got 1 more person later tonight that I'm teaching. And the rest of the day, today's a huge Facebook day. So it's a huge day to be making Facebook content that's native to Facebook, as well as making some Facebook ads. Which I haven't posted in a long time. And so today's the day to be putting those out and getting a lot of those made. That is a huge focus of today. Tomorrow, what's going on tomorrow? Tomorrow, similar, so I've got a student in the morning. I'm doing a little bit of more Facebook work in the afternoon. And then I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yes, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 students in the evening and 1 student in the morning. So that's what's going on tomorrow. Today I also just sold the camera, which is exciting. I kind of like selling. Selling is fun for me. So I just sold a camera for 50 bucks, old camera that was sitting around the house, which was pretty exciting. All right, here we go. Perfect. Next one is asking how tall am I? I am 6 feet or just below 6 feet tall. All right, let's open up. Got some sauce on my finger. There you go. Open up. Okay, so to say 10 deep questions. Let's start answering some of these. 40 deep questions to ask if you really want to get to know someone. Let's figure out what these are as I eat my lunch. So let's get into this. By the way, if anyone has any deep questions, feel free to type them in. Okay, question number 1. Hey, look, it's Brooke. Long time no see on the live streams. Long time no see. Okay, so here's deep question number 1 that we're answering. Deep question number 1. What's one thing you would like to change about yourself? Before we answer that, let me comment on this comment. Gokche says, I guess you love hats. It's not that I love hats. It's more that if I'm not teaching too many students, I don't like to do my hair. So I just stick a hat on for convenience. Anyway. Question for myself. What's one thing you would like to change about yourself? Let me think. What's something I want to change? What's ironic is the thing that I want to change is the thing I don't want to change at the same time. So I feel like I have a lot of self-confidence and I don't really want to change. I'm like, yeah, I am who I am, and that's that. That's sort of how I view things most of the time. Most of the time, not always, but for the most part, that's my perspective, which on the flip side kind of probably is one thing that isn't great about myself. The fact that I'm saying I'm freaking great and I don't know if I want to change. Well, I don't know if that's really a strength. So that could be something I'd want to change. It's very meta. Are you religious or spiritual? I'm not religious. I'm not religious by any means. And in terms of spiritual, I mean, I don't really know what that word, like, what does spiritual mean nowadays? Like, does it mean you believe in God? Does spiritual mean you, like, what does spiritual even mean? I mean, maybe I could say I'm spiritual. I'm not sure what the definition of the word is. So, let's see. Do you consider yourself to be an extrovert or an introvert? I consider myself to be more extroverted for sure. But I grew up in an environment where, well, I'm definitely more extroverted. But, growing up, I was a little bit socially awkward for a long time, and I still kind of am socially awkward, to be honest, sometimes. Depends on the context, but especially before, you can be very socially awkward. So being a socially awkward extrovert is a bit of a weird combination. So that's that. These aren't overly deep questions. What was the best phase? Oh, I like this one. What was the best phase in your life? Right now. I always feel like whatever is happening right now always feels like the best phase for me. I always be like, oh, wow, this is really good now. And then later, I'm like, oh, no, this is the best. It's always, whatever's happening now tends to be the best so far. Obviously, there's been a lot of challenges. There's been a lot of, like, tough times and blah, blah, blah. But, you know, I'm very, very lucky that I haven't faced, like, you know, compared to a lot of other people in the world, I haven't faced a lot of major setbacks or challenges, which is good. So most of my challenges are, you know, what I call first world challenges. Challenges like, oh, you know, I'm running a window cleaning business and my employee quit and I have all these jobs to get done tomorrow and we're short employees. Oh no, what are we gonna do? Stuff like that, right? So it's not like, crap, there's no food in the fridge. Like, not stuff like that. I've never had stuff like that, really. So let's keep going here. Is what you're doing now what you always wanted to do growing up? I mean, growing up, I always wanted to do lots of things. I had lots of different job ambitions. I wanted what I want to do. I wanted to be a police officer, a teacher at one point. I thought I'd be a hypnotist. That sounded cool to me, to be a hypnotist. I wanted to be a magician. Wanted to be so many different things growing up. So I never thought I'd be doing this, what I'm doing now, though. I never thought I'd be a private language teacher, no. Let's see. Nestor got a not very deep question, but I'll answer anyway. There's a strange sound. Is it the air conditioning? I don't know. We don't have air conditioning in my house. I'm not sure what you're hearing. Not sure. Not sure. I appreciate the hearts, by the way. Whoever clicked the heart button, I appreciate that. All right. Next question here. Next question here is, what is the next question here? Here we go. If you're in a bad mood, do you prefer to be left alone or have someone cheer you up? So I'll repeat that. If you are in a bad mood, do you prefer to be left alone or have someone cheer you up? Left alone. You guys saw me in a bad mood yesterday. I was pretty grumpy. So I just go really, really deep into my grumpiness, and then eventually it sort of seeps out of my body. So left alone for sure. Let's keep going to deep questions. Let's see what else there is. Here we go. Are you, who's phoning? Not sure who that is. We're not going to answer it. All right, let's keep going. Are you confrontational? That is the next question. Are you confrontational? Nope. I avoid I mean, by nature, no. By nature, no. However, through my old work, there are times where you have to be a little bit confrontational in a good way. Like if you're a boss, like you're the owner of a company, there's times where you have to have conflict, right? So I don't know if it's confrontational, but having conflicts with people sometimes, yeah. I mean, I don't do it a lot anymore. I mean, I don't do it a lot, period, because I don't like it, but yeah. Did you ever write a journal? No. However, I do, obviously I do video journal. Clearly I do video blogging, video journaling. Let's keep going here. Do you believe in second chances? Do I believe in second chances? Yep, absolutely. Oh yeah, for sure. Second chances are huge. For sure, 100%. What are you eating? That's a question we just got. I'm eating lasagna. Lasagna that my grandma made. My grandma made this the other day. Lasagna. All right. What's on your bucket list? I don't have a bucket list. Pretty boring. What is your, oh, this is a good one. What is your biggest regret in life? What is your biggest regret in life? This is a good one. This is a good one. So it's funny, I regret nothing. Like, nothing. Like, I feel like a lot of the mistakes you make, just help you move forward. So I don't really regret much. Do you believe in reincarnation? From Ryan. No idea. No idea. No idea. When it comes to questions like religious questions or like reincarnation, afterlife, I have no opinion because it doesn't concern me. For me, it's a waste of energy, personally. I just focus on me and what makes me happy and just do that. And if there's an afterlife, great. I'm going to reincarnate. Okay, cool. I don't have control over it. I can't control it, right? So I can't control reincarnation. Like all that stuff is not in my control. I usually just like to just focus on what I can control. So let's keep going here. All right, more people. Here we go. Are you a procrastinator? Yes and no. Generally, I've gotten better. Generally, I've gotten better at not procrastinating. I'm okay now. I'm not awful anymore. I used to be worse, but now it's funny, right? Because like as more and more time has gone on, I just sort of realized how short life, like how long life is, but also how short it is. Meaning, it's a long time. Like the odds are I'm gonna live till I'm 80, 90, right? 80, 90 years old, probably, right? That's like I have like 60, 70 years left before I die. But on the other hand, I could walk out the door now and get hit by a bus. So we just don't know, right? You just don't know if it's going to be until you're 90 years old or 24 years old. So me personally, I don't I don't procrastinate as much anymore because I don't want to like get hit by a bus and then get hit by a bus and like lose my legs or something, or like if I lose my eyes, I don't know if I make videos anymore. So I can't see to edit. I can't see, right? I'd have to hire an editor. Like it'd be hard, right? Or like if I lost my arms, like it's hard, right? So anyway, went in a bit of a dark direction, but let's keep going. What event would you rather wait, what? What is that? What event would you rather die than I don't understand that question. I don't get it. Who single-handedly changed the course of the entire human race? I'm not even going to go into that one. Not even going into that one. Let's keep going through these here. Here we go. Wow, this is like, oh, here's a simpler question. Are you an early bird? Nope. Actually, well, I'm more of a night owl than an early bird, but like I get up around 8 a.m., something like that. All right, let's see. Here we go. So I'm just reading through these here. This is funny. I like this one. This is not deep, but I like it. If you had your own TV network, oh, I totally misread that question, but I'm gonna read the question the way that I read it, not the way that's actually written. So the question is, if you had your own TV network, would you put yourself on it? Absolutely, I would definitely. If I owned a TV network, I would be on that network all the time. I would be on TV every day. I'd like to be on TV. That'd be cool. Oh, here's a good one. What or who motivates you to exercise and be healthy? Weirdly, it's more of a what than a who. So I used to be really, really, really unhealthy, like the absolute worst. Like everything you should do to be healthy, I didn't do. Everything you shouldn't do, I did. Like it was bad, guys. Like I didn't drink or like smoke or anything like drugs, none of that. That was not stuff I did. But in terms of like nutrition and exercise, I was not doing stuff correctly, not properly. And so what changed was that I think there's a day where like I had like I you know, there's just a lot of issues. Like I was falling asleep sitting, I'd fall asleep sitting down, like I couldn't focus properly. Like there's a lot of issues. And so one day I sort of, you know, without going too much into detail, sort of decided that, yeah, it's time to change, right? It's time to change. So I had a bit of a car accident, actually. Nothing, you know, no one got hurt. I didn't get hurt, nothing like that. But, you know, I just noticed my reflexes were slower than they should be. And I thought, huh, that's interesting. And I don't know if it had anything to do with my health. I'm not sure. But it probably actually didn't have much to do with my health, to be honest. Like, I don't know. I have no idea. But for some reason in my mind, that event kind of, for some reason in my brain connected it to, oh, you're not taking care of your body, so your reflexes are slow, which is, it's a weird place for the brain to go. But I've been doing a lot of thinking about how I had pretty crappy health at the time. So since I'd been thinking about it, I connected a circumstance I had to that. And then from there I decided, yeah, I've got to be more healthy. So I'm not perfect by any means. Like I'm not, to be honest, like I'm not the most healthy individual in the world. But I'm way better than I was. Way better than I ever was. Yeah, way better. Yeah, I'm never really, it's been what, probably over almost a year now that I've been really good. Not really good, but I've been in a good place health-wise, and I'm just chipping away every day. I'm trying to do more, trying to be more healthy, trying to be healthier, chipping away day by day, every single day, trying to get, you know, improve more and more. So 2 seconds. I'm gonna grab something here. Do this in the sink. 2 seconds. 2 seconds. Let's do. Oh yeah, I need this. We're gonna make a salad. We're gonna make a salad. We're gonna make a salad. Whoever's holding down the YouTube fort, thank you very much. We have one person hanging down to the YouTube this whole time. You know, it's funny. I realized that a lot of people, it's funny how like people consistently watch me on live streams and they're not the most interesting thing in the world. They're pretty, my live streams are quite average, right? So I find that pretty fascinating. Where is the blue container? There was a blue container and I can't find it. Anyway, it looks like we got more questions. Oh, I like this one. Gotcha, you asked me the favorite question of the day. My favorite question. Where is the container? Aha, there it is. Anyway, the question is, what is your favorite TV series? Ooh, this is I love, you know, it's funny. The one thing that I do that's not work related at all, and that is, you know, yeah, more for fun, that I do consistently, is I love watching my TV shows. I love my TV shows. Not a very deep question, but I like the question anyway. I love watching my TV shows. So I watch all of, well, basically all, not all, but most of the Marvel and DC comic TV shows. So I watch Arrow, I watch The Flash, I watch Marvel's Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., I watch Legends of Tomorrow, right? I watch all of that. I also really enjoy, what is it? Oh yeah, Brooklyn Nine-Nine. It's not a show, like it's not a comic book show. However, it is still a very good show. I find it hilarious. I like, what else? Still the other one. I also like, oh, here they are. I also really like Quantico. Quantico is an awesome show. Quantico's great. Prison Break. Oh my God. Prison Break. Oh my goodness. Is on TV right now. They've rebooted the whole Prison Break series. Man, this season is so good so far. So that's something I'm really enjoying. What else? I'm watching, what's the other one I'm watching? Let's get this. What else am I watching? There's more than that. Man, oh, Supergirl, of course, Supergirl I'm watching. So, anyway. Got some more questions here. So, let's answer Gokchi's second question. Oh, no, it's not a question. Have I watched Fringe? No, I haven't watched Fringe. Ryan. Looks like Robert's got a question which I'll answer, and Ryan's got a question which I'll answer. Oh, Black Mirror, gotcha. By the way, Black Mirror I've heard is amazing. I've heard that's so good. Anyway, Ryan says, what are your thoughts about artificial intelligence? Well, it's gonna happen. I think that's pretty clear, no? That's gonna happen. So robots will likely take over in some way, shape, or form. Nothing we can do. That's my thoughts. All right, Robert. When you went to France, no French, was it good? Did you? Okay, cool. So Robert's question is the following. Let me eat this. Then I'll say his question. 2 seconds. All right. All right, Robert's question is the following. Hey, Azren, when you went to France to learn French, what did you do? Was it good? Do you recommend going to a language school? Like, I know it's pretty expensive. Like, basically he's asking, I went to France, I lived in France. What are your thoughts on that whole experience? Well, I thought it was really good. What I did is there's basically a company called OSEF, OSEF, and basically they'll organize exchange trips for students from Canada, France, Canada, Belgium, a few different countries they do. And yeah, I thought it was freaking awesome. I thought it was amazing. So basically what I did is I lived with a French family. I went to school, to a high school in France for 3 months, and it was great. Loved it. I would definitely recommend. Oh, do you recommend going to a language school? Yeah, I would recommend going to a language school. I mean, I didn't go specifically to a language school. I just went to a regular high school that the company OSEF put together and organized. So that's what I did. And I thought it was, yeah, like I've said 100 times, it was freaking amazing. Loved it. Definitely would recommend it if you got the option to do it. Yeah, huge. I mean, awesome way. Hello, Charlie. How's it going? Awesome way to improve your French, improve whatever language you happen to be learning. So, all right. Charlie's asked a question, not a deep question, but that's all right. Charlie's asked a question. How long did you stay in France? Just a year? So I went a few times. First time was when I was 15. I went for 3 months. So 3 months in France. Second time was about 17, maybe 16, 17. I went for about a month, maybe two. I think it's 1 or 2 months. Third time I was in university and I went for a month. So I've been 3 times. What is that? 3 plus roughly. So roughly call it 6 months-ish. I've also been when I was a kid, but that was just as a tourist. So, and when living in France, did you get fluent due to immersion? Yep. Yeah, I did. So here's what's interesting. So Brooke, hey, look at Brooke. So it's an interesting story, right? I already spoke some level of French, like a decent level. Let's call it more than the average person, because I went to a French immersion school in Canada. So I did all of my school in French, right? Everything is in French. So I did math in French. I did science in French. Everything was in French. History in French, geography in French. Everything is in French. And to the point where, all my schools in French since I was 5 years old. So, and it's funny, like, obviously usually you're not perfect in French at the time, right? But you've got a good base. You've got a decent base. So when I went, I was able to I was able to function in French. I was not completely useless. Basically, the immersion took it from, yeah, I can function in French. I'm actually pretty freaking fluent in French. And then what happened was, over time, when I first came back from France when I was 15, that experience is kind of like, imagine like if you, trying to think of a good analogy. It's like if it's picture someone who, I got it. It's like someone who's really good at a musical instrument, but doesn't actually understand how to play the musical instrument. So someone who just play by ear and just play it and sound cool and sound good, but doesn't understand music theory, what they're doing, like, versus someone who's gone to like a classical, has classical music training. That person understands the music notes, how to read music, the theory, and really understand what's going on. So when I came back from France, it was very similar to someone played music by ear. Like I could just speak, and because I knew it sounded good. And from, call it, the age of 16 to probably until 3rd, 4th year of university, that's when a lot of the fine tuning happened, because I had people that forced me to learn the other side of the language, not just to speak by, what sounds good, but also understanding, at least having a decent understanding of how grammar works and how the language really works, why things are the things they are. And I'm not perfect. I'm probably more on the side of knowing what sounds good and speaking by what sounds good and whatnot. However, yeah, I do have a very solid knowledge about grammar and all the rules and things like that. So, but yeah, it was an awesome experience. I'd recommend it to basically anyone. I don't see why I wouldn't. I mean, so I really wanted to exchange program to France for a few months. Yeah, Brooke, do it. I think you're in university or high school, aren't you? So I mean, it's a perfect time to do it, where you've got less like responsibilities, less cost, less living costs, and just a good time to be going. It's a really good time to go. So yes, do it. Tell me all about it too when you do it. So tell me all about it. Okay. Mixing up my salad. All right. Let's keep going with these questions here. We were doing lots of deep questions, then we went to non-deep questions. It's funny. All right. All right, move this over to the table again. Moving to the table. All right. Robert, not a problem. You are welcome. You are welcome. You are welcome. Ryan says, I don't like salad. Why? Okay. Oh, never mind deep questions. We got more questions here. Other questions we go. So, what are you making? I saw strawberries. I made a salad with goat cheese, some vinaigrette, strawberries. So Brooke went to northern France. Cool. All right, Robert White. I'm looking to pick up Italian on my own. Do you have any stuff? Okay, so Robert's asking, do you have any tips or study methods, self-study tips or methods for picking up Italian on his own? So yeah, I can give you some tips. So, there's all the classic, there's the classic language learning apps. You can look at Duolingo. You can look at things like Rosetta Stone. Often you can find those things for free, like a lot of the books and things like that from a library. There's a website. I mean, let me find it for you right now. Super fun. I mean, probably not great for you now, Rob, but at some point probably will be good. Let me find it for you. Donna, one of our subscribers, shared it with me. Punk Rock Mom. You guys have seen her. She shared this with me. Let me find it here. Brooke is saying ItalianPod101.com is good. Excuse me. You know, I'm someone who does believe that it really helps to have like a tutor or a paid teacher to guide you through the process. Not to say you need it, but you know, my experience, just one of the fastest ways to do it. You know, and you can often do it without too much money. So here it is. Lyricstraining.com is fun for listening comprehension. Lyricstraining.com. I like that a lot for listening. Any other self-study? Let's see, self-study. Language exchange partners are good. If you can afford to travel, helps a lot. Travel to Italy helps a lot. If you watched my video on Rob, I made a video a while ago, probably 2 weeks ago, on what's it called? I can't remember the title, but it's about like learning a language on your own without a teacher. And one of the big things I said, sorry, very rude of me. One of the things I said was I would recommend people be very entrepreneurial about their language learning. What I mean by that is, how do I explain that? Oh yeah. So let's say you're on a budget, right? And you don't want to pay too much money to pay someone to teach you. What you can do, go on a website like italki, find online teachers or even teachers in your city, and either ask them for an hour of their time for free, right? And just be very upfront, like, hey, don't have a huge budget, but I was wondering if you could do an hour free. Some people say yes. And or reach out and say, hey, can you teach me for an hour, 2 hours, X amount of time, and I'll trade something else with you. I won't pay you money, but I don't know, I'll teach you guitar, or you'll offer something else apart from money. Good way to find teachers for free and actually learn pretty quickly. So, Rob, that's a bunch of stuff. I'm just sort of off the top of my head. If you want to give me some more details, I can definitely go more in depth for you. Give you some more personalized advice. Gotcha says, have you ever lived extraordinary situation while you were teaching languages? I'm not sure I understand your question. Have I ever lived extraordinary situation while you were teaching languages? My gut says no, nothing really extraordinary has happened while teaching. I have lots and lots of travel stories. I have lots of great, oh yeah, guys, we're renaming this video. Okay, this is gonna be good now. I have so many good stories for you guys. I'm excited. Wait, hang on. Stories and deep questions. That's what we're titling this live stream. There we go. I have lots of freaking amazing travel stories for you guys. Okay, where to start? Let's start with this one. Let's start with the travel story where a 37-year-old Peruvian man tried to hit on me and pick me up and make me his boyfriend. All right, so ready for the story? Here's what happened. I was living in Peru, doing some volunteer work. I was in the south of Peru in a city called Arequipa, okay? I'm in Arequipa, and I decided to go on this tour of this specific region, or a specific canyon, called the Colca Canyon, right? So I'm sitting on this bench, waiting. There we go. Sitting on this bench. Robert, I'll answer your question in a second after the story. Sitting on this bench, waiting for my bus to come so we can go to the canyon, and this man sits beside me. This man is roughly 35, 36, 37 years old, okay? And so this man sits beside me and he keeps looking at me. He keeps looking like this. He's just like looking at me, looking at me, looking at me, looking at me. He keeps looking at me, and I was like, why is this guy looking at me? So I asked him, like, I was like, hey man, how are you? He's like, oh, I'm good. Starts talking to me, super friendly dude, all that stuff. By the way, Brooke, see your comment there. See you later. Talk to you later. So he starts talking to me, right? And he goes like, he's pretty friendly. And as we're talking, something weird happens. He starts to get closer and closer and closer to me. So as he gets closer to me, I move over myself. So I start moving the other way. I'm right at the edge of the bench. He's right next to me. And I was like, this is super creepy. And then he asked me this question. He's, oh, by the way, he's like touching my leg. He's touching my arm. Like it's really weird. So eventually he asked me this one. He's like, hey, how old do you think I am? And I was like, I thought he's like 35, 36, 37. So I said, 30. That was my guess. He's like, younger. And I was like, damn, he looks good for someone younger than 30. I was like, younger. I was like, okay, 24? Younger. I was like, frick, what? Not possible. He's like, I'm 21. And I was like, I didn't say it in my head. I was like, as if my friend, you are not 21. But anyway, and then he's like, so where are you going? And I was like, and I'm freaked out now. Like this is like not. I'm like freaked, right? And so I'm like, oh my God, what do I tell him? So I got an idea. I was like, aha. I was like, oh, I'm going to the Colca Canyon. And he said, no surprise, me too. And I was like, as if, but okay, let's roll with this. Let's keep going with this. I was like, no way. I was like, that's so cool, man. He's like, yeah. And I was like, so which tour company, or no, he asked me, what tour company are you with? And I was like, I lied to him because I knew he'd be like, I'm on the same one as you, right? I was like, oh, I'm on that one over there. I point across the street. There's a tour company. I was like, I'm on that tour there. And he goes, oh, no way, me too. I was like, great. Why don't we walk over there together? He's like, awesome. Let's do this. He's super creepy, by the way, at this point. But I was like, I got to get him off my back. And I had an idea. So we start walking, right? As we get closer to the tour company, I was like, oh, yeah, you ready? This is the tour. Let's go inside, talk to him. He's like, yeah, let's do it. And so we're there. And I was like, oh, wait a second. He's like, what? I was like, I totally messed up. This is not my company. I'm at a completely different one. Sorry, man. And then I left, turned my back and just left. And I left the whole square. I made sure he didn't follow me. I tried to like disappear among crowds. Like I was like freaking like a spy or something trying to hide. It was, I have a second story, by the way, but before I tell my story, I want to answer Robert's question. I have another good travel story about another man, similar story, but with a French man. Okay, hang on, but let me answer the question first. So, Robert says, I've been watching your channel for about a month now, and I'm loving your content. Thank you. I'm looking to buy, oh wait, what? I'm looking to buy or use something like a Simul, Babbel. Do you have any experience with programs like these? I don't have any with those two, but I've heard good things. You know, here's the thing about language learning apps and programs, for all of them, every single one. You know, they can be the best, the absolute, like literally, Robert, well, look me in the eye here. Let's look me dead in the eye. Literally, you could find the best program ever. Like this is the #1 language learning thing. Like this is the best, okay? You find it, okay? But the reality is this, the reason why most of them don't work very well for most people is because most people just don't go and they won't go and use them properly. They won't actually follow through with the program. And the reality is this, language requires other people. You have to talk to other actual people to really start to get used to, especially the conversation side. Reading, writing, you might be able to do on your own, but conversation for sure you need other people. So Rob, you know, what all these things, Babbel, all that, fantastic. Do whatever you want. Go for all of it, do it. And comma, understand you have to follow through. And if you really want to get to a high level, at some point you're gonna need to put yourself in experiences or situations where you are around other speakers, whether it's finding a teacher, whether it's language exchanges, whether it's moving to the country for a bit, whether it's, I don't know, right? Meetups in your own city, but there will come a time where you're gonna need that in-person contact. So you might be good for 6 months or so, right? You might be good for 6 months, 4 months, 12 months, I don't know, for a while. just with apps, but I'm telling you, mark my words, mark the date. I'm telling you, if you continue, if you really are really continuing with Italian like hardcore, there's gonna be a time where you're gonna think to yourself like, huh, you know, this stuff is working, but I want another person to help me now. Like I want some interaction. I want to talk with native speakers. I want to practice. I want to speak with people. I have a funny feeling that time will come. Maybe I'm wrong, but usually it's what happens. So, all right, other story. Hello, all the new viewers. A couple different people jumped on here. So another story about another man hitting on me. So this was even creepier. This was a story of a man who invited me up to his hotel room. Yeah, basically invited me up to his hotel room, which was kind of interesting. Right. But here I am in it was in where is this? Barcelona. I was in Barcelona, okay? So here in Barcelona, my feet were tired. I was kind of sick, not in great shape. I was with my mom. My mom was off taking pictures somewhere. I sat on a bench and started to wait. And there I am taking selfies, taking some pictures, just like random stuff. And there's this Frenchman who starts to talk to me in English, right? And we're talking, and he just seemed like a friendly dude. But here's the thing, though. Within like 30 seconds, 60 seconds, this guy was way too friendly. Like it was kind of weird. And he's like, "Oh man, we should get some drinks downtown later. Like, let's hang out." I was like, and he's like 30-something years old, and I was like, something feels really off about this. And I was like, yeah, maybe. He's like, "What's your phone number?" And I was like, oh man, I don't know about this. I was like, oh, you know, it's probably better if you give me yours and I'll message you at some point. So did that. He gives me his number. He's like, "Why don't you message me now?" Thank goodness I didn't have Wi-Fi, right? Because I was traveling. I was like, "Oh, I only have Wi-Fi. I'm just traveling, this, that, the other thing." And he's like, "Oh, yeah." He's like, "Yeah, maybe we could just head up to my apartment or something. We can grab some drinks in there, something like that. Maybe later tonight." And I was like, "Oh, yeah, maybe. I don't know. I'm with my mom and this blah, blah, blah. Like, I don't know, man." Weird. I don't know why it's the 30-year-old men. 30-year-old men are the ones who are attracted to me, man. I don't know why. I had a weird situation today, actually, with a 30-year-old man or 40-year-old man. It probably wasn't weird, but it was slightly weird. I sold a camera today. And he's like, I met him at a public place in this like grocery store where you buy food. But he's waiting way off to the side in his car. And he's probably I'm sure he's a fine dude. I'm sure he's okay, right? But I'm kind of sketched out. I'm like, oh man, I don't want to have to like go away from all these public people. He opens his window. I'm keeping a bit of a distance, right? He's like, "Come, sit in my car. It's raining outside. It's cold." And I was like, "No thanks, man. No thanks. I don't just get into strangers' cars. I don't just step into people's cars." So he might have been just being like a nice guy and just wanted me out of the rain, but that is like stranger danger 101. Do not go into strangers' cars. Don't do that. All right, you hear that, kids? Don't go into strangers' cars. Only go in their car if you know them and you feel safe. If it's a stranger, do not get in their car. Let's do more travel stories. The first question. Mr. ZLT, first of all, I think this is your first live stream. First time I've seen you comment in a live stream, so welcome. He asked me, how old are you? I'm 24 years old. All right. Let's do forever. All right, I have another travel story. Another one for you guys. This is the time when let's say this is the time where, I got a better one. Way better story. I actually thought I would die in Morocco. I actually thought I would die, or worse, be taken as like a slave, okay? All right, here we go. I should start a travel stories show on my YouTube channel. A weekly thing where I tell one travel story every week. I might do that. Actually, that's a good idea. I'll think about that. Anyway, so I was in Morocco, and we were in what city was it? But anyway, we're in Morocco, and we're in this like touristy square, and we're going through this like little market area. Okay, so we're in this market area, and we're trying to go to, I think it was a palace. Yeah, it was some palace, or maybe it was a church or some kind. I think it might have been a church or a palace. So we're walking, and there's this guy trying to get into his house, right? And he sees us like, oh, are you guys going to the church? We're like, oh yeah, why? He's like, oh, don't you know it's Sunday? It's actually closed on Sundays. We're like, oh crap, sorry. Oh, we didn't know that. Thanks for telling us. He's like, yeah, no worries. Where are you from? Welcome to Morocco. Blah blah blah. Cool. We start walking, and he's like, oh shoot, by the way, come back, come back. We're like, what? He's like, there actually is if you take a left right up here, then just go straight. And it wasn't even like it wasn't like a sketchy road. It was a normal road. He's like, go straight down the road, and you will find like there's like an artisan market where they have like handmade bags and things like that. Like, oh, that's cool. Let's do that. And he sees this guy, the guy we're talking to, sees another guy riding a bike, and the guy on the bike is disabled. He's like physically, I think he's missing. Was he missing a leg? Like that. And he's like, oh, this guy. He's like, hey, he actually works there. Why don't you just follow him? I'll take you. We're like, okay, idiot. We should have known. But anyway, so we follow this guy on the bike, right? And he speaks a little bit of English. He's talking to us, pretty friendly dude. And he's taking very windy paths. And at some point, I was like, crap, if I had to make it back, I'm completely lost. Like, we are so far from anywhere touristy. And I was like, crap, this doesn't feel right anymore. And it should have been at that moment where I was like, we need to stop this. I need to do something. But I didn't click in fast enough. So we keep going with this guy, and we get to this little like doorway, right? And this little entrance, little gate goes to a tannery. A tannery is where they like kind of prepare leather to make different things. So we get to this tannery, and it's sketchy. Like they're taking us literally, like, we're walking, and to the right and left of us, there's like people in these huge like pits, like huge holes filled with ammonia, which is awful for your skin, not good for you. And these people are in it working, and literally my thought is like, dude, this guy, this tour guide, could literally push me in there and just force me to work for him, and there's nothing I could do. I've got brown skin, like those guys, who knows? I was like scared. And this guy's sketchy is like super sketchy. This is like scary, man. Like, and I'm scared. And I'm like planning escape routes. I was like, if he pushes me from here, I'm gonna turn like this and throw him in. We'll run that way. We're gonna do that. Where's the other dude? Is he waiting outside? He probably is. When he gets there, like, I'm probably gonna have to like throw something at him. Like, I was like planning my escape route, right? Hang on here. What happened to internet? Internet still working? Hang on. Yeah, it's working good. Okay. So I was like, frick, this is like sketch, super sketch. So now I'm like, okay, what do we do? So eventually, we start telling. I was like, no, we're leaving, and they're like, oh yeah, do you want to get back? We're like, what? Like, do you want to get back? And we're like, I forget what we said. I don't remember, but well, if you pay us, we'll take you back. And like, we're in the middle of like, we're not in a good part of town. So we end up having to pay these guys off just to take us back. But that was super sketchy. I was pretty scared. That was the first or second scariest travel experience I've had. Apart from this one I just thought of right now, which was in Peru again. I can go all day to travel stories. That's so many travel stories. I have another story. This is in Peru. Oh, here's crazy. This is in Peru about 24 hours or maybe after, 1 or 2 days after the time when the man was hitting on me in Peru, like sitting beside me, really creepy dude. 1 or 2 days after this. So when I went on this tour of the Colca Canyon, there was these 2 girls that I met, or no, 3 girls, sorry. 3 girls that I met on the tour. One is from Australia, and one of them is from England, Australia, and Austria. Those are the 3 countries. Okay, so that's where they're from, and we got along. We're kind of friendly. Like, hey, why don't we hang out after the tour? And we found a Moroccan restaurant, in Arequipa. So let's go to the Moroccan restaurant. So we go to the Moroccan restaurant. We eat wicked food, amazing food, such good food. It's awesome. Go back to the girls' hostel and we watch a movie called Catch Me If You Can. Watch the movie, we hang out, and after a while, like the family I was living in Peru gave me a call to say, "Hey, Azren, where are you?" And I was like, "Oh yeah, crap, I forgot to tell you, I'm with some friends. Blah, blah, I'll be back late. Like, don't worry about me." They're like, "Okay." When they called me, I ran out of minutes on my phone. I left this hostel, and it was, probably 1 in the morning, something like that. And the problem was this, right? Hello, Year of German. So the problem was I left this hostel, and as I walked out, it's 1 in the morning, it's dark, and I'm looking, I was like, I have no clue. Literally have no clue. And like, Peru is safe, but it's, like stuff happens. It's not like Canada where you might be okay at 1 in the morning outside on some random street. But like in Peru, like there definitely some sketchy people about. So I'm like, I have no phone still. And I think I was an idiot too. Like I think I actually walked a bit thinking I knew where I was going. And then I got lost even more. So I couldn't even go back to the hostel. I was screwed. Like I was like, oh my God. So I'm wandering the streets of Arequipa, Peru, middle of the night, no phone, no nothing. Sketchy dude, like I'm screwed. I was like, crap, like this is like, I'm done. I walk. Eventually, somehow, by luck, Instagram, I'm gonna finish the story, but my I've been going too long in this, and my time limit on the stream is almost here. I'm gonna continue the story. 2 seconds, I'm ending it, coming right back. 2 seconds. End the stream. There we go. Sorry, YouTube. All right, 3, 2, 1. Okay, it's back. It's back. 10 seconds for people to come back. Robert, by the way, Peru, you gotta visit, man. I'm telling you, like, I hope I'm not putting you off. Peru's an awesome country. I loved it. Such a cool place, and actually relatively a safe country. Let's let the Instagram hop back on. Well, if they don't hop back on quickly, I'm gonna keep going with the story. Oh, there we go. One person's back. One person is back. Anyone else coming back? If only one person's coming back, I'll continue the story with one person. So, okay. Well, one. All right. Okay. I guess we'll continue the story right now. So anyway, I'm wandering the streets here, right? Wandering the streets of Peru. By pure luck, I don't even know how this happened. By pure luck, I happened to make it to downtown, okay? To the main square. I don't live close to the main square at all, okay? I don't live close to there. Main square, but we still got a problem, right? Oh, by the way, I had some money on me, but I didn't have enough money to go like pay for a hostel room or a hotel room. Like I didn't have a ton on me, but I had some. And I was like, okay, what can I do? So I'm thinking, I was like, I'm in downtown. You know, you can take a taxi, right? You can take a taxi, but the problem with taxis in Arequipa, and actually a lot of places in Peru, is that the taxis are the one thing that are not overly safe. Taxis. What I mean by that is the taxi driver was not a real taxi driver, and they will mug you. And then they'll drive you off the middle of nowhere. They'll beat you up. They'll drive somewhere their friends are waiting. They beat you up. They rob you. Like, I specifically remember, I was eating dinner with about 9, 10 people, and literally we had a conversation about taxis, and more than, I think it was 6 or 7 out of the 10 people at the table had all had an experience of being robbed robbed, and some of them like mugged, like beat up, like violent robbings. So taxis in Peru, you have to be very careful. There's ways to know if a taxi is safe, but you have to be very mindful. And I'm telling you, on a Thursday or Friday, I think, night, like when most people are out drinking and you're gonna take a taxi back, like there's a higher likelihood that the taxi you find is not necessarily a safe one. So here I am, like, crap, I can't just hop in a taxi. Like, I need to be smart about this. And I'm already kind of freaked out. So I'm like, hey, how am I gonna make sure I find a good taxi? And there's no, oh, by the way, and there's not that many taxis. That's the other worst part of it. There weren't a ton. So I'm like, crap, what are we gonna do? So I'm like thinking, I'm standing there going, what's my options? Do I sleep on a bench? Do I sleep out here? Do I, like, I don't know, man. Like, I didn't know what to do. So I decided, oh, I got an idea. I'm gonna get in a taxi. However, I'm gonna do two things. Number one, I'm gonna wait for a taxi to come to downtown that has a lot of tourists in it. And in hindsight, what I should have done is I should have waited for what taxi that came back that had one tourist in it. Because a lot of tourists, if there's a lot, there's a lower likelihood that they get robbed, right? There's a group of them. But if it's one, and they might get robbed because the taxi driver thinks I could rob the person, right? So I waited and I saw a taxi and there's like 3-4 tourists left out of it. I book it to this taxi. You don't book it, but I walk fast, get there. I was like, hey, do you know how to get to this place? Blah, blah, blah. He's like, yeah. Like, how much is it? Negotiate, get in the car. And he starts it, and here I got so freaked, guys. This guy starts to take a different route than what I knew how to get home. And I was like, oh no, I happen to have found the one taxi that was gonna screw me. Like, I was like, yo man, where are you going? He's like, I'm taking a shortcut. I was like, no shortcuts, none. You're gonna take this road, you're gonna go under this bridge, you're gonna go there. And he's like, whoa, relax, man. Like, I need you to take the correct road. Because both of us know there's dishonest taxis in Peru. You know this, you must know this. I'm not saying you're one of them, but like, I don't want to jump out of your car as you drive. Like, I'd like to be able to pay you. Like, I'm not, like, I'll hop out of your car as you drive. He's like, oh, I get where you're coming from. And he's like, yeah, man. And it turns out he's a nice guy. Like, he's really apologetic. And he went back to the prop road I asked him to take. And he's like, yeah, that's really smart. He's like, I didn't even think. He's like, the other road actually at this time of night actually is faster. I just want to be safe rather than sorry about a hell of a night. It's been already pretty crazy, and take me on this road. He's like, cool, no worries. Takes me home. The family I was staying with was like super worried about me because it was late. It was late at night, guys. Like, it was late. And yeah, super late at night. So they're pretty worried about me. Pretty worried. And they kind of scolded me for being an idiot because it was a bit of my own fault. Definitely was my own fault. One more story. I have one more. Okay. I could go all day. I have work to do, but this is too much fun. I've not told these travel stories in a long time. Chile, my friend Stevie. So we, oh, okay. We're gonna go out with this story. This is the final story, and the live stream is done. Okay, final story, and I'm done. Got to get to work. Okay, and this is my favorite story to tell. This is a story of how I almost died twice. A 48-hour window. In 2 days, I almost died 2 times. Okay? Here's what happened. And I'm gonna okay, we gotta tell this properly. Let's everyone kick back, relax, take out your coffee. Here we go. We're gonna tell this. We're gonna tell this story properly. The story starts before Christmas. Christmas Eve, or actually no, Christmas Day. I think it's Christmas Day. Christmas Day, me and my buddy Stevie were in the desert of Peru. Okay, we're in the desert, we were doing some tours. We met these 2 or 3. I think it's 2 of them. Yeah, we met these two Chilean girls, and we were just chatting with them. The capital, like Santiago. If you're ever there, like, call us. We're like, whoa, actually you're from there? No way. We're actually gonna be there in like 2 days, which was true. We were gonna be there like literally 2 days later. We're like, okay. So 2 days later, I called them and we're like, hey, we're actually here, blah blah. And they met up with us, right? And actually, it's interesting. They were actually really good tour guides. They showed us around the city, got to see some cool stuff. You know, you got to do some very local things. We had a great time. Roughly 6 p.m. It was probably 6 p.m.-ish on a Wednesday evening, Thursday. I think it was Wednesday. 6 p.m. on a Wednesday evening, and they're like, "Oh, we got to go to this bar." We're like, "Okay, sure." Go to this bar, and this place is a complete dive, like a complete dive bar. Like this bar is, it's packed on a Wednesday. There's drunk people outside that are fighting. Like it's rowdy, it's noisy. Within 3 seconds of walking in, this dude's grabbing my shoulder like, whoa, where are you from, man? Blah, 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 da, this, that, and the other thing, this, that, da, 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 da. My God, I told him I'm from Peru because I did something about telling him I was a tourist, something to say I was Canadian or whatever didn't feel right. So I tell this dude that I'm from Peru, and I have enough of a Peruvian accent to trick a drunk guy. Is this YouTube stream still working? It looks choppy. Something to say I was Canadian or whatever didn't feel right. Yeah, it's working good. Okay, awesome. So we're there, blah, 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 this, that, the other thing's happening. I'm reading, all that good stuff. And eventually we're like, we leave the bar and we have to catch this bus to go back home because the bus, we don't live in the capital. We lived in a town an hour and a half away. So we're like, we have to take this bus to go back. And we decided, right, we had to rush because we're almost going to miss the last bus. So we get to the bus station and it's packed. There's so many people, like so many people. It is crazy how many people there are, right? And we get to this place and eventually the police start like pushing us into a corner. And we're like all packed into this corner. I was like, what the heck is going on? And it was noisy. I couldn't figure out what's happening. Turns out they suspected there was a bomb at the bus station in this garbage can. So the police were like, crap, there's a bomb in that garbage can. We need to get everyone in the opposite corner of the garbage can. Oh my God. This one dude, super sharp guy by the Peruvian dude, he had really good English. He's like, hey, I heard you guys talking. You guys are going to Rancagua? That's the town you're going to? We're like, yeah. He's like, the police guy just said that the Rancagua bus is actually just across the street. He's like, he's like, it should probably leave soon. You guys probably, convenient, want to get out of here. Your bus is across the street. We're like, wow, thank you. Get on the bus. We're like, wow, we almost had a bomb threat. The next day, this is where it gets really crazy. That was one. The next day, I'm flying to San Diego for a work conference. Okay, I get on this plane, and this plane should not exist. This is old. You could tell it's broken. Like the seats are broken, some of them. They don't all have seat belts. On the tarmac for 5 hours before actually flying because it engine problems. And here's the worst part. As we're taking off in this plane, as we're taking off, one of the oxygen panels falls open. So it falls open and the guy is sitting there and he looks at it like, oh my God, the oxygen panel like broke. Like it didn't, the oxygen mask didn't fall out, but the actual panel that holds it. Now we're like, people are like calling the air people, the air hostesses. It's like, stop the plane. Like there's something clearly wrong. So the air hostess runs to the phone, tells the pilot, stop the takeoff. Stop the takeoff. We go backwards on the runway. So we like turn the plane around, go all the way back. So like we got to get this thing fixed. But apparently air hostesses don't have the authority to fix this thing. So this is already 5 hours sitting on the frickin' runway, waiting to leave. And now we have another issue. And they decide, okay, we can fix this, we can fix it. Somehow the pilot got the impression we could take off again. Who knows who gave him that message? So we're taking off and slowly start to do the air hostess is like, oh my God, this thing is still open. So they take tape, they tape it closed with duct tape. They tell a man to go sit somewhere else. I was like, what is happening? Now we're in the air. I'd forgotten about the stuff. I'd calmed down. The plane starts to have turbulence. It starts to shake. And I wasn't worried. I've been on lots of flights. It's like, whatever, turbulence. But I opened my eyes, because I was kind of sleeping, and I opened my eyes, and what do I see? I see the air hostess running down the aisle to the phone. I was like, what is happening? The air people are freaking out, and I was like, oh my God, what is happening here? Like, what is happening? That was the first time I checked. I had my Chilean phone. I had my Canadian phone. I checked the time. I checked how long I'm flying. I got text messages typed out to every single contact I could think of on the spot, saying, "Hey, I'm on this. This is my flight. This is the flight number. Here's how long I've been flying. I think the plane is going to crash. I checked under my seat for the life jacket in case we land over water. I read the safety card. I looked for the emergency exits. I took all of my granola bars out of my backpack pockets. So like if we crash, we're going to need food. Got my jackets, tied them on. I was ready for a crash. I was like prepped. Like I'm ready to hit send on my phones because I had both phones. I didn't know which phone would work. If we crash in the middle of nowhere, who knows if a phone's going to get signal. Maybe a Chilean phone will get signal. Maybe a Canadian phone. I was ready, guys, like for a plane crash. And so we're there, and I'm ready. Or not stop. So we're calms down. The air host's like, sorry, we just had some minor turbulence. I was like, this minor turbulence, my foot. Like, really? You guys are freaking out. Like crazy freaking out. So that happens. When we land, the cherry, the icing on the cake, the absolute icing on the cake, was after we land, the oxygen mask thing falls open again. Like literally we stop, everyone's like, oh, like literally everyone was like, oh, like a couple people are like applauding, like we're done. And then the oxygen mask thing falls and everyone takes their smartphones out, they're taking pictures. And it was crazy stuff, man. Crazy, crazy stuff. Man, I love travel stories. Okay, I need to write this down. Whoop, my hat fell off. There we go. I'm gonna do a daily thing about travel stories. You know what? Why not? I think that's gonna happen. I'll do the first one today. All right, answer this question, then I gotta go. So, hello, Azren. Are you the type of person who's afraid of trying different foods when you were on a trip? Because I know you've ever knew completely different countries. Yeah, you've been. I do, but I'm vegetarian, so I don't eat anything of meat. I'm okay with trying different foods, but I don't eat meat, so it usually limits a lot. But I don't mind trying different foods. Long live stream, good live stream. Had a freaking awesome time. Thanks for watching, and I will talk to you guys later. See you guys. See you